Welcome to the moment you never thought would arrive. Welcome to the reckoning, to the battlefield of shadows and silence, to the exact second where masks fall and illusions bleed out in the open. This is where it happens. This is where you become the very thing they tried to break, bury, and deny. You've been walking with your head down, pretending not to notice the weight of the lies they wrapped you in. But now, you've set it all on fire. And not with whispers, not with hints, you dropped a nuclear truth. The kind that melts the air, the kind that turns kings to ashes. And now, they can't hide. Not behind polished suits, not behind smiles carved with manipulation, not behind systems built to keep you in chains. This isn't a story about vengeance. This is the birth of something monstrous, magnificent, and unapologetically real. You didn't ask for permission to rise. You kicked the goddamn door off its hinges, and they heard it. Oh, they heard it echo across the halls of power and fear. And now they run. But it's too late, because you've arrived, and you brought the truth with you. Before we go any deeper, if you felt that heat in your chest, that shiver of recognition, then this is your world now. Hit that subscribe button like you're punching through the very lies they fed you. Smash the like button like you're breaking the chains that kept your voice silenced. This isn't just content. This is war in words. This is rebellion crafted into syllables. Every time you engage, you give the algorithm no choice but to spread the fire. Let them see what we see. Let them feel what they tried to numb. Share it, echo it, amplify it until the walls tremble. We're not asking them to listen, we're demanding it. Because when truth turns radioactive, there's no turning back. So stay. Lock in. This story isn't just mine, it's yours now. And it's just getting started. They thought you wouldn't notice, they really did. They banked everything on you. Being too tired, too loyal, too scared to speak. But they forgot something ancient, something primal. Pressure doesn't just crush, it sharpens, it awakens. You didn't stumble upon this clarity, you forged it through hell. You paid in silence, in tears no one saw, in rooms where your thoughts screamed louder than your voice ever could. And now the voice is back. It's louder than it's ever been, and it's aiming straight at the lies that dared to shape your world. You didn't predict the outcome. You created it, and they hate that, because there's nothing more terrifying to them than a mind that sees, than a soul that won't kneel anymore. You stood in the center of their storm and didn't break. You became the lightning. You're not here by accident. Every step, every betrayal, every fake smile you smiled back at while holding your rage behind your teeth, it all led here, to this moment. And they can feel it, that chill crawling up their spines, that gut-level dread. It's not superstition, it's recognition. They recognize what you've become. They can smell the truth burning behind your eyes. They know this isn't about calling them out. It's about ending the illusion. You didn't just speak facts, you detonated them. You took their carefully curated narrative and snapped it in half with one brutal, unapologetic truth. And it wasn't fancy. It wasn't sugar-coated. It was raw, sharp, radiating with the pain of everything they thought you'd bury. But you didn't. You weaponized it. And now look at them. Scattering, denying, gaslighting, desperate to patch the holes in their sinking lie ship. But you're not trying to be saved anymore. You became the storm that decides who survives. And let me tell you something. The storm never apologizes for the damage it causes when it's long overdue. You didn't destroy peace. You exposed the parasite feeding off it. You didn't cause chaos. You revealed it. Their silence now? That's not strength. That's fear wrapped in ego. That's the sound of power crumbling because someone, you, finally said what everyone else was too afraid to even whisper. This is what happens when one person wakes up. You become a plague to the system that kept you dreaming. You infect others with clarity. You ruin the script. You disrupt. You dismantle. And the thing is, they can't undo it. They can't stuff the truth back into your mouth. They can't clean it off the walls. They can't silence the echoes because now it's in the air. It's in the code. It's in the eyes of every person who's been waiting, praying, breaking for someone, anyone, to stand up and say, enough. You did that. You were the fuse and the fire. And now everything burns. There is a cost, yes. There always is. Isolation, judgment, the claws of how dare you. They'll call you bitter, crazy, angry, dramatic, all of it. Because that's all they have left. Labels, desperate attempts to make your truth fit inside their box again. But that box is gone. You blew it apart. And they're scrambling through ashes, looking for control. Let them. You walk. Forward, head up, eyes sharp. Because now, the only thing more powerful than your truth is what you do next with it. You don't need their validation. You never did. And now that you've said it, really said it, out loud, in public, in fire, something ancient has shifted. You feel it, don't you? That weight gone, that clarity rising, that storm behind your ribs finally dancing free. That's what they tried to kill. That's what they were afraid of. Because the truth spoken from the mouth of someone who survived is more dangerous than any weapon built in a lab. It's alive, and once it's out, it grows, it spreads. It infects their lives like a virus they can't cure. You're not just a problem now, you're a force. People don't always clap for the truth when it first lands. Sometimes they run from it. Sometimes they hate it. But eventually, they always feel it. It lingers. It scratches at the doors of their silence. It wakes them up at 3 a.m. It whispers when everything else is quiet. And when they finally confront it, they remember you. They remember the one who said it first. The one who didn't flinch. The one who refused to shut up and sit down. That's your legacy now. Not silence. Not obedience. But impact. And maybe right now you're standing alone. Maybe your hands are still shaking from the fallout. Good. That means it was real. That means it mattered. Truth this loud doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pain, from fire, from breaking over and over until you learn how to sharpen the pieces and throw them back. So let them look at you like a threat. Let them whisper in fear. Let them pretend they don't hear what you just said, because deep down, they know they've been seen, stripped, exposed, and there is no curtain big enough to cover what you just revealed. So breathe, stand tall, don't apologize, don't retreat. You earned this moment. You carved it out with every scar. And now that you've dropped the nuclear truth, don't walk away from the explosion. Walk through it. Let the flames crown you. Let the smoke become your anthem. Because if you can survive this, you're not just unstoppable, you're undeniable. You didn't come this far to be polite. You didn't bleed in silence just to whisper the truth when you found it. You came to tear down the stage they built on your back. You came to flip the script. You came to say what no one else would, and now you have. So take a deep breath, look around. This is the fallout. This is the aftermath. And this is exactly where your story truly begins. The nuclear truth has landed, and while the dust hasn't settled, your footsteps echo louder than the silence they've taken refuge in. You feel it. That buzzing in the air? That's not fear. That's the shift. The shift from being the broken to becoming the breaker. You used to flinch when the world lied to your face. You used to nod, swallow your tongue, go home and scream into your pillow. But now, you look them dead in the eyes and speak the thing no one else had the spine to say. And they heard you. You know they did. That twitch in their mouth, the flicker in their eyes. That's the sound of their fortress collapsing. Because you didn't just drop facts, you dropped a truth so devastating, it punched through generations of silence. This is what truth does when it's no longer afraid to bleed. It doesn't knock. It doesn't ask for time to explain itself. It barges in and sets fire to the lies you were taught to live with. You cracked the code. You shattered the illusion. And what's worse, you made others see it too. That's what they can't forgive you for. Not that you were right, but that you were loud. That you dared to make your truth contagious. That you dared to be visible. There is nothing more violent to a false system than a voice that refuses to stay in the dark. You became a virus in their matrix, and the infection is spreading. Every second since you spoke, their foundations have been groaning under the weight of exposure, and they'll throw everything at you to undo what's been done. Guilt, shame, distractions, manipulation, maybe even kindness with a knife hidden in it. But you know the pattern now. You know their language. You know that their smiles are stitched together with fear. You've seen behind the curtain, and there's no wizard, just men in masks. And now that they're exposed, they'll panic. And panic makes them reckless. That's where you stay grounded. You don't fight like them. You fight with reality. And reality doesn't negotiate. You don't have to explain the truth. You embody it now. You wear it in your eyes. You carry it in your stance. You deliver it in your silence even more than in your words. The people around you, some will rally, others will recoil. Let them. You weren't reborn for their comfort. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be undeniable. And that means walking into rooms where your name has already been dragged, standing in the fire they lit for you, and smiling because they forgot. You don't burn like they do. You were forged in it. Let them ask, how the hell did you call this? Let them gasp and whisper and backpedal. The truth was never a surprise to you. It was always there, festering under the surface, whispering in your ribs, clawing at your throat. The only thing new is that now you've stopped protecting the people who caused the rot. And when you stop protecting the enemy, the healing begins. Not for them, for you. The weight lifts, the fog clears, and suddenly, you're standing taller than you ever thought possible. That's the gift of speaking what they tried to bury. It doesn't just destroy what's false, it builds what's real. They can't hide now. That's the thing. Once the truth is out in the open, it hunts. It seeps into conversations. It crashes into denial. It makes cowards sweat. And it stands over every lie like a judge with a memory that doesn't forget. And you're the author of that judgment now. Not with rage, with clarity. Because truth doesn't scream. It just doesn't flinch. And that unnerves them more than anything. You're no longer reacting. You're watching, observing, documenting, exposing. And nothing terrifies corrupt systems more than someone who no longer needs their approval. You've become the mirror, the one they can't avoid, And every time they look your way, they don't see you. They see everything they tried to hide from, and that's why they hate you now. But that hate, that's proof of your accuracy. That's confirmation that the missile hit its target. They don't hate you because you lied. They hate you because you told the truth too well. Don't slow down now. Don't soften it. You were not sent to decorate the cage. You were sent to break it. This is the season of exposed roots and rotten foundations. Everything is crumbling because you stopped pretending. So keep pressing, keep revealing. Let your presence make the liars sweat. Let your silence feel like thunder. You don't owe them softness. You owe them the consequence of truth. And maybe people you once loved are walking away. Maybe your circle is shrinking. Good. Because what you're building now can't be built with counterfeit loyalty. You need wolves beside you, not sheep trained to say, it's not that bad. Let the weak retreat. Let the cowards bow. You're not afraid of starting over anymore because you finally understand. When you have the truth, you are never starting from zero. You're starting from power. And what they don't understand is this. You never needed them to believe you. You needed you to believe you. And now that you do, nothing can be the same. You've tasted what it feels like to stop lying to yourself. You've tasted what it feels like to stand in front of the fire and not burn, but shine. You've felt what it's like to speak and have the walls listen. There's no going back. You don't want to go back. The old you is dead, and the version of you that rose from the ashes, they have no map for that. You're not on their radar. You are the radar now. They used to define you, label you, categorize you. That game's over. You dropped the nuclear truth, and now you write the definitions. You name things now. You reclaim meaning. You shift culture. Because the world doesn't change through quiet compliance. It changes through uncomfortable honesty. And you are the discomfort they never prepared for. So, keep walking. Through the fallout, through the smear campaigns, through the silence, through the fake apologies and the subtle threats. Walk through it all, because that's the path reserved for those who set it first. It's not the easy road, but it's the real one. And at the end of that road, legacy, revolution, truth that doesn't die when you do. You drop the bomb, and the echo will outlive you. Let them deny it. Let them twist it. Let them call it overreacting, attention-seeking, dramatic. But in 10 years, when everything they built on lies has collapsed, people will say, they warned us. They said it. They called it. And they'll mean you. You'll become the reference point, the timeline, the moment everything started to shift, because truth, once spoken without fear, becomes prophecy. You were never supposed to blend in. You were meant to rupture, to disrupt, to shift gravity. And now that you've done it, now that the nuclear truth is out, they can run, they can spin, they can even rebuild. But they can never pretend they didn't hear it. That's your power. That's your legacy. And if you're still breathing, still here, still listening, then remember this. The truth you dropped wasn't just a statement. It was an earthquake. And nothing built on lies survives an earthquake. Now, walk like you own the crater. The nuclear truth has detonated, and there's no retreat, no retraction, no "maybe I was wrong," whispered in the dark. You stood on the edge and hurled it into the abyss. A bomb carved from your blood, your scars, your darkest nights. And they can't hide now, because the fallout is everywhere, in their eyes, in their silence, in the cracks, in the systems they built to imprison you. You aren't just a voice anymore, You're a reckoning, the storm that shatters their facade, the lightning that scorches every lie they tried to chain you with. They wanted your obedience, your quiet compliance, your trust in their carefully constructed fictions. But you shattered the mold. You became the war they never saw coming. And that is why you're hunted, why you're feared, why they scramble to erase your words like graffiti on their pristine walls. But you are the graffiti, permanent, defiant, untouchable. Every lie they ever told you was designed to keep you small, keep you docile, keep you distracted. But beneath your skin, beneath their careful edits of your reality, a fire burned, and you fanned it with every rejection, every dismissal, every no they gave you. They called you crazy, paranoid, bitter, but that was just their last-ditch attempt to gaslight you into submission. You saw through it all. You built your fortress out of broken promises and ignored warnings, out of the rage they hoped to extinguish, but only fanned. When you dropped that nuclear truth, it was more than just words. It was a bomb forged from truth and resilience. It exploded in their hands, scattering their carefully woven lies to the wind. And now, there's no patching it, no hiding the truth behind smokescreens or distractions. It is exposed, raw, undeniable. The world can see it, they feel it, and the tides are turning. It's a lonely road, standing in the aftermath of a truth so violent, it changes everything. You might feel the sting of isolation, the cold shoulder of friends who fear the upheaval you've unleashed, the backlash of those who cling desperately to their illusions. But this is your crucible, and only the strongest emerge from the flames forged anew. The nuclear truth you carry isn't just a weapon, it's a beacon. It calls out to the broken, the forgotten, the tired souls who've been waiting for someone to speak what they've only dared to think. Your courage gives them permission to awaken, to rise, to fight. And that is your power. You are the catalyst, the spark that ignites the revolution of minds and hearts. They can't hide now, no matter how loud they scream, no matter how many lies they tell to drown you out. Your truth is a weapon sharper than any sword, more powerful than any army, because it carries the weight of reality, raw, unfiltered, unstoppable. You hold the key to dismantling their empire of deception. But remember, the battle doesn't end with dropping the bomb. It's only just beginning. Stand tall amidst the chaos, embrace the fallout, and know this: once you've unleashed a nuclear truth, you never go back to silence. You are the storm, the reckoning, the truth that cannot be contained. So own it, live it, breathe it, because the world needs more people like you, unafraid, unbroken, unstoppable. The darkness may try to swallow you, but you are the light that refuses to be hidden. You drop the nuclear truth. Now let it explode and reshape everything in its path. So now you stand in the smoke, not broken, but awakened. The world hasn't ended, but everything false within it is collapsing around you. That's what nuclear truth does. It doesn't ask for change, it forces it. You've shaken the ground beneath the feet of liars, manipulators, and cowards. And maybe you're standing alone right now, heart pounding, breath steady, fire still burning in your lungs. But make no mistake, this is power. This is what it means to be feared not for who you pretend to be, but for who you truly are when the mask is gone and the chains are dust. They will never forget the moment you spoke. They'll replay it, deny it, distort it, but they will never erase it. Because you didn't just say what needed to be said, you said it when it cost something. And that makes you dangerous. That makes you unforgettable. So if you feel tired, if you feel isolated, if the world is quieter now that you've stopped lying to protect their comfort, good. That silence is sacred. That silence means you finally chose truth over survival. And from this silence, a different kind of strength will rise. Not loud, not performative, but immovable. So keep walking, through the fallout, through the aftermath, through the rebuilding, because you didn't drop a truth bomb just to watch things burn. You did it to make room for what's real. They can't hide now. And you don't have to hide anymore. You are seen, you are feared, you are free. And now, you build. Not for them, not for their world, but for yours. And this time, the foundation will be truth, violent, unshakable, and yours. Let them talk. Let them whisper your name like it's cursed, because to them it is. You've become the